What's going on, car family? I'm Ben Wayne.
I'm Isha Wayne.
And thank you for joining us in another video. Today we're going to do a quick driving review of the 2022 Mercedes-Benz EQS 450 Plus. Now there is a 580 model. We'll get to that in the future, but due to the chip shortage, obviously there's not that much stock of these vehicles. This just came out. This is actually a demo vehicle that isn't for sale. So let's talk EQS. So Isha, as we were getting in this car, I told you this is essentially an electric S-Class, right? So if you like the luxury of the S-Class, but want an electric powertrain, this is the car for you. Base price is around $102,000, and then this one is finished in polar white with a macchiato beige interior, nice wood trim as well. So let's go ahead and get to the questions that I know people are gonna ask up front. First of all, there isn't a frunk, so there's no storage up front. What you have is essentially a filter there and electronics, so you cannot open the hood on this vehicle. So starting from the front, of course, you have a large black, I would say grille, but it's a huge black panel with the Mercedes-Benz symbol in the center, and then small Mercedes-Benz symbols all over it. It's a really interesting design. I'll show it to you when you get out. And then you have the digital LED headlamps up front as well. Overall, it's an interesting looking car. It's definitely a car that wants you to know that this is an electric vehicle, but it's extremely quiet to drive. Now, coming to the side profile, let me let this bike go by because that's gonna go straight through the mic. Coming to the side profile, the car kind of looks like an archer's bow, especially if you look around the panels, the window panels. So it kind of has a design that's been strongly influenced by aerodynamics, because this has to be aerodynamically efficient to get the most miles per gallon equivalent, right? So since you can't open up the hood, I noticed that there's a side panel there that pops out and it allows you to pour your washer fluid in there from the side. I'll show you that too. It's pretty cool. It's one of the most interesting things I've seen on a car to date. So that was pretty fascinating. This particular vehicle is fitted with the 20-inch wheels. 22-inch wheels are available as an option. So another question people are going to ask, since this is an EV, are the charging levels. So you can do level 1, level 2, or level 3 charging. Level 2 charging will take you about 11.25 hours from 10 to 100%. Level 3 charging takes you from 10 to 80% in just 31 minutes. So that's really quick. Obviously, you don't have to charge this vehicle every day. The maximum range is 350 miles, and you're looking at about 98 miles per gallon equivalent in this vehicle. So charging it every day is not something you're going to be doing. What do you think about that?
I think that sounds very nice.
Yeah.
And go ahead. I'll let you finish.
No. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, immediately when you started up the vehicle, one thing I noticed, it does not have that EcoSport green sound like I'm in the future.
Oh, yeah. It is silent.
Right.
This is silent. This is really the world's first luxury EV.
Wow. Well,
right?
It's in the right direction.
I mean, think S-Class when you're in here. This is essentially what this is.
Right.
Now, with regards to size, the wheelbase of this EQS is about 126.4 inches. To give you some perspective, the wheelbase on the S-Class is 126.8 inches. So they're roughly the same wheelbase, which is going to give you that smooth ride. Now, Mercedes didn't just take an S-Class and throw an electric motor in it. What you're essentially getting is a new architecture that I'm sure they're going to be using for their other EQ vehicles. So it's not just an S-Class with an electric motor. The motor for this one is a rear permanent synchronous motor. It's giving you 329 horsepower, 416 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 60s in about 5.9 to 5.7 seconds or so. It varies. A lot of people have got it down to 5.3 seconds, so it's a fairly quick vehicle. So it's going to give you the acceleration and performance that you need while also giving you that luxury. It's really nice. Taking a look at the vehicle from the rear, you have an LED light band that goes all the way across, really helps pronounce the width of the vehicle. And I also mentioned that there isn't a front up front, but there is tons of storage in the back. As a matter of fact, if you drop the second row, you get up to about 63 cubic feet of storage in this vehicle. So the storage is definitely there. And Isha, you can see how spacious this vehicle is. Like I said,
I'm so relaxed right now. It's so smooth.
Yeah,
Like,
you're just enjoying the ride.
Yeah.
You let me do all the
Yeah.
talking.
I know. It's very smooth and it's very comfortable. I'm like, even the headrest. I mean, this is really good.
Really nice.
This is by far the best, you
EV
know,
that we've been in.
Right. I mean, we've been in some other pretty good ones,
but not like this.
No.
This is truly luxury, and it goes to show you where a lot of these luxury brands are going to be heading. For example, the EQS is essentially the S-Class. EQ is the what they designate their electric vehicle lineup. There's going to be an EQE coming out.
Uh-oh.
And there's even going to be an AMG version of this coming out.
Oh, really?
Right, so that's the future's now. This is where we're heading.
Wow.
So let me put my foot down on it. The acceleration is nice and smooth. It's almost like you're riding on glass here. It's overwhelming.
Wow.
How quiet the vehicle is. I'm really taken aback by that. Not too much sound coming in from the cabin. The only thing I can really hear is the wind hitting the car.
Yeah, but even that's not bad.
Yeah, even that is not bad. This is a really nice vehicle.
Yeah, it is.
This is more than what I was expecting for sure. One thing I want to make mention of is the interior, of course. This is the nicest interior I've seen in an electric vehicle today.
Yes.
Right?
Usually everything's kind of super plastic.
Right.
Even the materials used on the seats or just the interior, it's, you know, moderate, not very luxury at all. Not saying that they need to be, but I mean,
it's a beautiful vehicle,
Yeah.
and just being able to touch the different surfaces and materials, it feels real nice. Again, S-Class. Think S-Class. You have a 12.3-inch digital OLED display here for the instrument cluster, and then you have a 12.8-inch display system here.
Right.
And it gives you tons of information. As you can see, we have the charging information up. It also gives you the range and then the consumption. Tons of different menus in here. And of course, everything that you would find in the S-Class in here as well. So your luxury amenities like the heated and ventilated seats and stuff like that, that is all here in this car. Look at how they integrated the air conditioning vents along the dash here. It's almost hidden. It's a nice thin line, looks nice and modern. It's really clean. And then you have LED lighting going all the way across as well.
I was definitely admiring that because I was like, whoa, where's my vents? It's just, you know, smooth panel here. And I was like, oh, that's cool. It's hidden in there.
Right.
You know?
Right. Now, there is an option to have a Hyperscreen in here. I think on the EQS 580 model, you know, there's going to be a Hyperscreen available, but due to the chip shortage, obviously, it's going to be a while before we see that. The Hyperscreen, Isha, is essentially turning this whole dash into a giant screen. So even where this wood is, it's a screen.
Oh, wow.
Now, to me, I kind of like this look.
Yeah, this huge screen here for me, I thought would be too much. I think this is good enough for me.
That's enough.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, I don't think I need it all the way over here.
Right.
Not unless if, you know, you're going to play a movie for your passenger.
Right. The passenger really doesn't need to have a control system here for your basic infotainment system functions. You can just use this center screen here, and I think it just looks a lot better.
Right.
I like the wood in here. That really goes well with the leather.
Right.
But look at the detail. Even the turbine style like air conditioning vents look really nice.
That looks almost like an airplane.
Exactly. And it has an LED within the vent.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know what else to say. This is S-Class level interior,
I feel like
it should
it
be.
has given us a nice amount of storage as well.
Yes.
Usually you don't get that in vehicles.
Right, right. This is a large vehicle, and I think the curves deceive you a little bit. And when you get in it, you're like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
This is really large. The door panels are covered in smooth leather. You have contrast stitching.
Look, let's just stop here. This leather comes off as if it's Alcantara.
Right, right.
I literally was waiting for that soft you know, suede feel.
Yep.
No, it's very deceiving.
Yeah. It looks extremely nice and goes really well with the macchiato beige. And then, of course, you have your controls here. Now, if you notice on the door panels, the actual buttons to adjust your seat do not move. Just apply pressure on it.
Yeah, I noticed that. I was trying to push it, and I was like, oh, it's moving.
So it's the same system that's in the new S-Class.
Yeah.
So I think that looks really nice. Of course, you have 3-position memory, controls for your ventilated and heated seats, and then on the driver's side, there's even a button to control the passenger side from the driver's seat as well. And then a nice open pore wood trim here as well. I really like that. It just feels good.
It's open.
And gives a natural sense to the wood finish, and then storage on the bottom of the door as well. So the seats, I have the ventilated seats on to keep me nice and cool, and the seat ventilation works really well.
I have on the heat.
Yeah, of course. The seat ventilation works extremely well, and the seats are the S-Class level comfort. So you could easily take this car out on a long drive and just sit back and relax.
All right, let's do that.
The ride here is just so smooth, guys. It's hard to convey to you. Like, I don't feel anything and I'm not hearing anything. It's just you and the car. You know, it's just a silky smooth and quiet ride. I think I'm just taken aback about how quiet it is. I know EVs are quiet, but for it to be this quiet, for me, is quite surprising.
I'm just enjoying the ride. Like, it is very nice.
Right.
Let's talk about this roof here.
Yes, so of course you have a humongous panoramic roof, lets tons of light in. So if you have a preference for like a darker leather interior instead of the macchiato beige, you won't feel claustrophobic. So tons of light is being let in through the cabin here, and then it just really just opens up the interior of the car. And if you sit in the back, you can truly appreciate it. But the back, just look at all that legroom back there.
Right.
You could stretch out back there. So if this is the beginning of what Mercedes-Benz is offering for their electric vehicles, they're definitely on the right path. Now, of course, this does have the aromatic suspension system that gives you the smooth ride, but I want to talk to you about how it feels. So there are 3 different modes here that I can adjust using the paddles here. Right now, I'm in normal recuperation mode. So essentially, it's what everybody else calls regen braking. So if I click the right paddle, it will take me into no recuperation mode. So I'm not getting any energy off that. But if I want to go all the way to the left, I'll click the left paddle, and that'll give me a strong recuperation mode. So I essentially can drive the car using one pedal, like all the other EVs. So if I let my foot off the power right now, you feel it slowing down?
Yes. Absolutely.
So that's strong recuperation mode. I'll go back into normal. And if you don't like any recuperation at all, you can just go back over into no recuperation. So that is an option that's available as well while you're driving this vehicle, just so everybody knows that. The charge port is located on the passenger side rear quarter panel. It looks like a fuel tank cover, like on any other vehicle. And then again, that windshield wiper fluid panel is on the front driver's side quarter panel. It was a really interesting feature, kind of threw me off there. So to have an EV that has all the luxury features that the S-Class has is quite impressive. The sense of quality in here is also quite impressive. But what has really struck me the most is how smooth and quiet this car is and how it rides, especially with that aromatic suspension system. Now, one thing I didn't mention, Isha, is that this car does feature rear axle steering. So just like the S-Class, the wheels are able to help guide you and make the car more stable at higher speeds, or in parking lot situations, allow you to make tighter turns because the rear wheels can steer up to 10 degrees.
Wow.
So that makes the car extremely nimble and makes the car makes it feel smaller than what it is. It's virtually able to adjust its wheelbase. So that is an awesome feature. I think they just truly threw the book at this car. So Isha, that's my thoughts on the EQS. Did you have any closing thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's remarkable. to be honest with you, what they've been able to accomplish for an EV vehicle.
Yeah.
You know, just the overall look, the quietness, the speed, the everything has been translated very, very well in this vehicle.
Yeah, for sure. The interior, I've fallen in love with it. I came to the dealership today like, okay, let me take a quick look at this EQS, see what it's about. It's an electric vehicle. I probably won't enjoy it. And then I've driven the car, and it's completely changed my impressions on what an EV can be. Right? Mercedes-Benz is the first to do a lot of things. They were not the first to come out with an EV, but they are the first to come out with a luxury EV. There's nothing else on the market like this. Everything else kind of seems, different purposes. Maybe the Tesla is the closest thing, but the Tesla just doesn't have an interior like this.
No.
And it doesn't look as cool as this, in my opinion. And the interior just blows it out the park. I mean, listen to that.
Nothing.
Nothing, guys. You don't hear anything in this car. Just what an amazing machine. So that's my thoughts on the EQS. We're going to take a further in-depth look at the EQS when the 580 model comes out, and of course when that AMG variant comes out as well. But I just wanted to get behind the wheel of this one early this Saturday morning before everyone started to take a look at it. If you're interested in this vehicle, be sure to hit up my friend Ben's blogger. I'll leave all her information in the description box below. Isha, thank you for joining me.
Absolutely.
Guys, please be sure to hit that like button, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. And until next time, I'm Ben Wayne, the automotive reviewer that YouTube deserves.